Good evening, everyone. And the screen looks different this week. It is different. We decided to open up with the Brady Brunch look and Brady Bunch, not
Brady Bunch. Although Brady Bunch might be pretty good.
So we got John and we've got Nolan Pastore, who is our guest tonight. So we're going to eliminate all that stuff that John and I do at the beginning, and hopefully that you'll enjoy the show and have some great questions for Nolan as we go through. Nolan, why don't you take a couple of minutes and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nolan Pastore. I'm 13 years old and I go to Lake Middle School in Hartville, Ohio. So I've always loved writing, even from a young age. And I would always ask my teachers if there was some kind of, way for people to read my work. And one day I got this little blurb at the bottom of a Scholastic magazine for Scholastic Kids Press Corps. And so I applied. And it ended up I got chosen. So the program, there's about 50 students. It goes to 24 million kids around the world. And we write articles that kids read from a kid's perspective.
Pretty cool, Nolan. So tell us where Hartville, Ohio is in relation to Columbus, Cleveland, Dayton, Akron, and Zanesville.
It's in the Akron-Canton area. It's near the Pro Football Hall of Fame, about an hour and a half from Cleveland.
That's fantastic.
So it's right in the middle of those.
Great.
And you're 13. How did you ever get into this writing gig with the Scholastic Kids Press?
Bob, he just told you.
Well,
if you were listening, he just told you that. He saw something at the bottom of the paper.
I'm sorry. I apologize. It said, Nolan, I told you this was live.
No,
live with no pretense. I was online with tech support because I didn't see any comments, but Jerry Plant is there. So Jerry said, sorry I missed last week. Okay, Jerry, that's fine.
Nolan, you can see right now that I'm the lead interviewer here, so you can kind of just deal with me. If Bob says anything that sounds semi-intelligent, which probably won't happen, just entertain him, okay? So right now, Nolan, it's just me and you. Now I told you, Nolan, that I have a grandson named Nolan. We call him Noli, or Knowles, or No. Do you get any of those same nicknames?
Those are creative. I don't really have a nickname. I've always wanted to have a nickname, but Nolan can't really be shortened. My grandma called me Peanut once, so that's probably the closest you can get.
That's probably when you were small.
Yeah, when I was small. Well, she still calls me Peanut.
Right. Nope.
I mean, I'm still pretty small compared to my family.
Now, Bob has a grandson who's probably as tall as you because he's only what is he, 7 now?
6.5.
He's 6.5. And Nolan,
I get that a lot.
Went to soccer practice last week, and he's out in the middle of the field, and he's the tallest kid on the field. So
including the coaches.
Wow.
I said, Bobby, I think you're on the wrong field. You must be over there because I see all these tall kids. There's no grandpa.
Yeah.
We should say that Nolan's background does have an RV affiliation to it, so we just didn't pick him out of the sky and say, Nolan, come on with us. Nolan, tell us about your family's business and how RVing has impacted your life.
Okay, so my dad owns the business there's Hartville RV Center. I have the little shirt on. There it is. In Hartville, Ohio, and my grandpa started it. And it's just been a business that's gone through the generations, and I've loved helping out there. And camping has really impacted my life. I love it so much. I've gone on so many fun camping trips. There's too many to count. So I think that camping itself has definitely had an impact on my writing, because every time I would write about my camping trips, or every time I'd go on a camping trip, my school assignment would be to write about it. So that really has contributed to my writing life.
So you know all about campfires and s'mores.
Of course I do. S'mores are my favorite.
More so than hot dogs and hamburgers?
No. S'mores are the best. They're the originals. You put 2 marshmallows in, not one, two. 1 bar of chocolate, 4 graham crackers, 2 on each. That is the ultimate s'more. Don't call me weird. It's perfect. Try it next time.
Wait a minute. Was that the s'mores extra large? 2 marshmallows in the chocolate
2 marshmallows
and 2 graham crackers?
Yes, but the chocolate must be melted.
Of course the chocolate must be melted.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Yes. So that is the ultimate s'more. Try it next time you have s'mores. You'll thank me later.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry.
Do me a favor, Nolan. Introduce all the people in that picture.
In that picture.
Okay, so on the far left is my Uncle Bob, and on the far right is my dad, Jeff Pastore. They have taken on the business from the older man towards the center. That's my Grandpa Pastore. And the older woman in the center is my Grandma Pastore. I'm on the far left next to my Uncle Bob. In the middle is my sister Caroline, and on the right is my brother Connor. The whole family there. That is 3 generations, I believe.
Yep, 3 generations. Pretty cool. So are you the senior vice president yet, or are you still washing dishes and cleaning toilets?
You know what? I'm working on it. I help my grandpa a lot, actually, at the RV Center with different things like chores, taking out the trash, all that fun stuff. But it's a really fun experience, and it showed me what the RV business is like, and it's given me a glimpse into maybe if I want to go into it, what it'd be like.
And what do you think? What do you think right now? Do you think there's a shot that you may want to take it over?
You know what? My brother on the right, Connor, says he wants to take it over, but whenever he does over an hour of work, he just can't go on. So you never know.
Hey, watch out, Nolan! Watch out! I got a funny feeling he's watching in the other room, right behind those behind those French doors. He's
mischievous little man.
They're probably projecting it on the 60-inch TV on the living room wall, so he'll have some words for you afterwards.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If he wants to come in and say hello, he can hop up off the couch and come in and just say hello to you and see how his brother's doing on the show. Hey, I got to ask you a question, Nolan. I'm going to guess, did your dad ever tell you the story about your Uncle Bob and me at the RBDA convention in 2017? I'm going to guess he hasn't. But have you ever seen?
You know what?
Huh?
No.
Have you
no, he has not.
Does he have in his office a caricature drawing from an artist that John knows and I know named Neil Pastore, who was at the 2017 RV convention, RBDA convention? And your dad had his picture done, and then your uncle sat down. Now, I had never met your uncle. And I'm standing next to, I'm pretty sure it was your mother. Either your mother or your father told me. And I turned to him and I said, "Is that your son?" And they turned and said, "No, that's Jeff's brother." So I thought that your Uncle Bob was his. I didn't realize he had 3 young children. So
yeah,
he hasn't really forgiven me for that. But I got good news for him. When you get off the air, and I know he's watching in the other room, Neil is coming back to the convention this year. He's going to be in a different display. So if both your uncle is there and Dad's going to be there, I'll have Neil do a picture of both of them together for you. But
a father-son picture.
A father-son picture. Yeah.
Okay, so Two Feathers has a question.
Let me get some questions up here, Nolan. We got Jerry Plants on. Jerry works for Majors RV on Cape Cod, Nolan. So if you ever need a connection on Cape Cod or the family wants to go down to Cape Cod, we got a dealer down there, and they'll hook you up on connections.
Sounds good, Mr. Jerry.
Brian Atherton says, "Great to have young blood here tonight. LOL. Sorry we could not get our computer to load the live feed last week." That's all right. Brian, Lisa, Mike, and Judy, all 4 of them are out there today. So congratulations and thanks for joining us. Good evening, Walter Swenson. Walter is the state director, Walter and his lovely wife, Donna. The state directors for the Massachusetts Good Sam. So I don't know if your dealership does anything with the Good Sam chapters in Ohio. We love them. We got them all over New England, and we work very closely with them and have them on the show as much as we can. And then
that's great.
We got Mark Polk is on. Do you know Mark Polk, Nolan?
I do not.
You need to get to know Mark.
Here's a tip, because someday I'm sure you're going to be in charge of marketing over at Hartville RV. Mark and his wife Dawn have an RV education and training company called RV Education 101, and you can buy. They have great books. The RV book for people just getting into RVing. They got videotapes, they got online training, and you should sell those books in your store. They're also a member of NERVDA, but you can sell those in the parts and accessory store for people who come in who are just starting to get into RVing. And of course, you'd be an expert on that because you've got so much RVing under your belt already. And his lovely wife just joined, Dawn. What a smart and cute young man. You know,
Okay.
she never says anything like that about me.
No, because you're not evil.
I'm sorry.
But Nolan, we need to tell you one thing about Dawn Polk.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Okay. Nolan, you're sitting there.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. There's certain kind of people in the world that you need to stay away from. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Dawn is a vegetarian.
Oh. I had a chicken sandwich 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dawn. I love Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry. Like half of my friends are vegetarians or vegans, and once we went on a picnic and I brought a chicken sandwich, wasn't that smart of me, and they were all eyeing me down.
Because they
Not
wanted
a
it,
pleasant
That's
experience.
because they wanted the chicken sandwich.
or they wanted to beat you up.
Yeah, I think it's the second option.
Yeah, you think that's what it was. Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you know what?
Let's get a question in here.
Go ahead.
No,
Audrey.
for you.
Audrey says, "I got a question. Do you have a question there, Bob?"
No,
I
no,
got a
no. I was giving up my time for you, John.
Outside of Mr. Zagami and me, who are some of the coolest people that you've interviewed or had interview you?
Well, here's the thing. Everyone is so cool in their own way, and it's really hard to choose one.
Nolan, you running?
But if I have
that's a political answer. It's a political answer.
You've been hanging around politicians. You're not giving us some straight
you haven't letting me finish. I'm not done. But if I had to choose one, I went to the Democratic debate not yesterday, on October 15th. That was a great experience. I talked to a few of the candidates, and I was in the spin room. It was just a great experience, and all the people there, the other media was so kind. So it's all been there's a little photo. So it was a great experience. That's me in the spin room.
Because you were probably smarter than most of the mainstream media today.
Show them your credentials, Nolan.
Okay, here we go. Here's my little piece of plastic. You'll be surprised how far this thing has gotten me just because it says working press.
You just walk right through the doorway. So, Nolan.
And wait a minute. For our RV friends who are on tonight, they will understand this. When we were talking to Nolan before the show, and I think let me know if you guys agree with this. I told him that John DePietro knows how to do more with that press pass than anybody in this country. He can get into any building, any studio, any television show. He walks right by security, he walks right by the police, and tell him your secret, John.
You just say to him, "How you doing?" Good to see you again. That's the line. Good to see Nolan. So if there's a place that you haven't been to, just have your old pass. Just walk by and say, "Hey, good to see you again." Okay,
and you can walk right in.
Signifies that you've been there already. Okay, so
as long as you act the part, it works. So Don says Mark eats chicken sandwiches too. Well, yeah, and Mark eats filet steaks and prime rib and hamburgers with John and I.
All good choices.
Walter's got it right. Walter says just act like you own the place.
Own the place. Okay,
so tell us a little bit about the Democratic National Convention.
I'm going to go get my passes.
Go get your passes. So when you see John's passes, but give us a kind of a short version of what that day must have been like for you.
Okay. So 5 a.m. in the morning, my alarm goes off, and we leave for the debate at 6 a.m. It's in Columbus, Ohio, and it really doesn't start until 8. The debate doesn't start until 8, and the spin room doesn't start until 11. So I'm wondering, why do we have to leave so early? Of course, you have to get your press credentials for the debate at 9 a.m. How nice of them. So we're driving down to Columbus at 9 a.m., grabbing our passes. And the whole rest of the day, we have I have a great uncle and great aunt in the area, so we stayed with them most of the day. Most of the day was just free time because there was such a gap between the getting the credentials and actually going to the debate. So once I finally got to the spin room, I just watched the debate and I thought, oh, 2 hours, this is going to be boring. But it flied by. It was so fun. I had my little computer there, and the best part was when all of the candidates came out and I actually got to talk to a few of them. It was just such an incredible experience.
Here's a question from Brian and Judy and his dad and everybody else that's out there. Brian says, have you visited the RV/MH Hall of Fame Museum and Library, and are you going to do a story there?
Well, I have never done that, but I have actually heard of it, and I really hope I get to do that. It's on my bucket list. And, of course, if I got there before I'm 15, of course I would do a story there.
Do you have to limit your stories to Ohio? Or because that's in Indiana.
That's true. Here's the thing. I'm the only kid reporter from.
1 second. Can you see what John's holding up?
Oh my! How many are in there? I have like 4.
Well, you're no man.
Wow.
That's probably a small part of his collection.
Kudos to you, sir. That is incredible.
Hey, Nolan, I told you.
Hey, Mark says we're going to corrupt the young man.
As I told you before we went on the air, this is the coolest show you're ever going to be on. Okay, see that? That's Darius Rucker. You know, Hootie and the Blowfish, and that's Sugarland, right there. That's Sugarland.
That's the Kenny Rogers pass there.
I got a Kenny Rogers pass from 2004.
Go up a little bit higher. Yeah. How many Kenny Rogers? John does the PR at Kenny Rogers. Well, Kenny's off the road now, but John handles him when he's in New England. How many Kenny Rogers concerts have you been to?
2000. I don't know, since like 30 years worth.
So he goes back 30 years. You will, and that's another thing. You will be amazed. The relationships that you're building now, you'll be amazed how you take them right through life with you.
See that?
Oh, for sure. I interviewed an AP photographer, and I saw him at the Democratic debate. I saw him at the All-Star game. I see so many people I've already interviewed at different events. It's incredible what your connections can get you.
Right. And remember one thing, Nolan. It's all connections.
All right, Nolan, after the show, I'm going to send you the contact for the RV Hall of Fame, Daryl Sear.
Okay.
And his assistant, Brian, and we'll introduce you to him. You know how to do your own selling as far as the interviews and setting up your stuff. But that would be a cool one because, number one, you've got a great camping background and certainly the business background. Let's talk about one that is kind of unique, but it kind of ties in to the political theme a little bit. Tell us about this particular interview.
Okay, so my dad, since he's in the RV industry, he had a business meeting in Washington, D.C. So we stopped along the way to Washington, D.C. to go, I believe this is Fort McHenry.
The Spanish, yeah.
Nolan, how did you get from Ohio to Washington, D.C.?
Well, we drove. Long drive, but we drove.
In a motorhome? Yeah, just say.
I believe it was in an RV. I'm not sure where we'd put the motorhome.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I think it was in a car.
Okay.
Okay.
But for our purpose, let's just say it was a motorhome.
Okay, it was a motorhome.
It's better for the industry.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
So.
My bad. It was a motorhome. We were in a motorhome.
Right. I can pick
So I had I thought maybe I could stop along the way and do an interview at Fort McHenry. So I got in contact with one of the rangers there, and I had a very fun interview. I saw where the And
here it comes.
Okay.
Brother. Call the brother back. Call him back.
No, Connor, actually I want you to come back.
Call him back.
He thinks he's in trouble. Okay, Connor. We were talking about you earlier. This is Connor, my little brother. My favorite little brother.
Connor, what grade are you in?
He's a little taller than me.
What grade
are you in, Connor? What grade are you in? He's in 5th grade. He can't hear me because of the headphone. He can't hear you because of the headphones.
Right, on the headphones.
If you guys had a fight, who would win?
They don't
We had a
fight.
fight. Him. He would win the fight.
I win a lot.
Look at this. Look at his muscles.
Look at those.
Look at his muscles.
In every
I can't compare. He would have won. He's a strong little dude. He plays lacrosse.
He does.
Yes.
Does he wear a mouth guard?
He does. Do you wear a mouth guard? He does wear a mouth
have
guard.
to.
Yeah,
You have to wear a mouth guard
You have to.
Whoops,
for production.
I cut you off.
And he's black.
Cut you off by accident.
You caught them both off.
One
Okay.
second, I cut you off, Nolan. Hang on, I'm gonna get you back. Okay, where'd you go? Where did I go? Can you hear me, Nolan? There you are. Okay, I apologize. I was trying to send a picture of you and your brother, and I screwed everything up. But
It's okay.
all right, finish your Fort McHenry, and then we'll show some pictures of you and your brother.
Okay, wait, what do you got for?
All right. So I had a great interview at Fort McHenry, and I had a nice story. It got a lot of views according to my editor. So that was really a great experience as well, because it's a big part of American history, and I'm learning it in my history class right now. So my teacher's going to show some photos of me there, which is going to be pretty fun.
So Nolan Ryan is a pitcher. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Brother named Ryan.
It's okay.
Wait a minute,
Connor,
Okay.
and Caroline.
Connor, Nolan, Caroline.
The
Yeah.
fact that you were traveling to these places, and let's assume for our purposes in an RV, and then you read about them in the history books, isn't it more special when you've actually been to somewhere that you read about?
Yes, it is way more special. I can't tell you the amount of times my teacher has been talking. It doesn't even have to be a whole subject. She would just bring up in conversation, or he would bring up in conversation. And by the way, this happened here, and I could be like, wait, I went there.
I've been there. So,
Yeah.
Quick,
That was me. I was there.
couple of questions. Don wants to know what else is on your bucket list.
outside of meeting Bob and I in person.
Right, now you can cross that off your list tonight. But
bucket list for a meeting,
I mean,
for
I
interviews, or
don't
bucket list
think-
for
Hey
camping?
Don, I don't think. See, that's how a vegan thinks. I mean, a 13-year-old kid doesn't have a bucket list. They haven't even dug the hole yet.
Well, I do.
No,
I mean, would it be a bucket list for interviewing people, or how would that work?
No,
bucket list for
she means a bucket of chicken.
Oh,
she must
yes,
mean-
I have eaten many buckets of chicken.
KFC bucket of chicken.
Right. That's
How
what it
many?
means.
Okay, so I've eaten many KFC bucket of chicken. But referring to interviews, I would love to talk to another presidential candidate, which would be awesome. A personal interview. We've had a lot of kid reporters talk to some candidates, so it'd be great to get my share into actually having a personal interview with one.
Beto O'Rourke is available.
But in regards to the bucket of chicken, I've had a lot of those.
Okay, question. Audrey wants us to get back on track, but Audrey, you understand how this program goes. Sometimes we get off track and we never come back. But Audrey wants to know what great experiences you've had, and do you have a favorite campground vacation place?
So, what great experiences have I had? I've had great experiences in both camping and kid reporting, whichever one you're referring to.
Well, do you want
For kid
to
reporting,
your favorite campground or vacation place?
Campground.
Let's go to that
So
one. Yeah.
there is a campground near Niagara Falls. I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of it. It's called Darien Lake. So it's a big campground.
And there's an amusement park.
There's an amusement park, yes. So two of my favorite things are camping and amusement parks.
Great.
So obviously that was so much fun. I'd love to go back there. Cedar Point, I believe, also has that, but I've never been to Cedar Point camping.
Cedar Point. Now that's one that you got to get on there.
That's on my bucket
They've
list.
got
That's
a
on my bucket list.
campground in the middle of the park, right on the lake. You can
I
actually,
see that. I've seen that.
and they have 13 roller coasters. So here's a parent's question for you. You go up to a big roller coaster. It's scary. Who goes on with you? Your mother or your father?
Okay, let me tell you something. Neither. I'm the brave one of the family when it comes to roller coasters. Me and my sister. My mom and dad would never even. They stay at least 25 feet away from all roller coasters. they're not going to lay a finger.
No. Oh,
So it'd
interesting.
be my sister who would come with me on the roller coaster, and we always have a fun time.
All right. Now, I always went on the roller coaster with our two girls, and I always liked the up and down rides. But if it was a twirling, tilt-a-whirl or something that went around in circles, the teacups at Disney World, my wife would go on with our girls to do that. Let me see what Brian says. We are having lots of connection interruptions here. Going to sign off and watch later. Okay, Brian, everything's clear here tonight, working on this end. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be posting the replay and the archive. But speaking of that, Nolan, if you don't mind, I think we're going to do a quick commercial.
Sounds good.
So Nolan, I'll do it this time, and then at the 40-minute mark, you can do it.
Let's see how quick you learn.
Okay.
Follow
so
it.
everybody, we want to thank you so much for spending your time with us to watch our show tonight. The only way that we can be successful is to have you share it with thousands of people all over the world in Facebook. And all you have to do is hit the share button, which is somewhere on your monitor. Share it with someone you know that loves RVing, someone you know that's thinking of RVing, or someone that you don't like, but you want to bug them with RVing things. So that allows us to reach 7 to 10 to 12,000 people a week. Just a drop in the bucket compared to Nolan's group. But nevertheless, we are endeavoring to be as cool as Nolan someday. So please share this. And we know that most of the people will watch it on replay. And thank you so much for doing that.
Okay.
And now back to you.
All right.
Now back to our regular programming. Let's
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So these are the lanyards that Connor brought me in. This one, I want to get the lighting okay. This is from the CNN Democratic debate, if you can't read that. It says my name on there on a sticker, Nolan Pastore. It's hard to read, but that is from that. And speaking of Cedar Point, I went to Cedar Point before it actually opened, before their new roller coaster Steel Vengeance opened. So this is a media pass there. I was one of the first kids ever to ride it. Very great experience. And that's that.
Right. That's right. I now remember that.
This is my all access pass for the Grand Design Show.
Dealers Rock, right?
September.
That's right. So Nolan, the picture on the right, you were not there. I don't think you were there for the awards ceremony.
Sadly.
No, you weren't.
No.
Okay. So that is your mom and dad, Mary and Jeff, accepting one award was the top 50. Hartville RV is one of the top 50 RV dealers in the country. And that's a contest amongst all the dealers in the country based on several different things: customer service and revenues and profits and products and how you take care of the business.
And kids.
But the other one is very important. It's the Gaylord Maxwell, I think it's the Community Award. And right now, one of the reasons Gaylord Maxwell was have you ever read any of his writings? He wrote for RV magazines for years.
I have. I read a few of his writings before I even got this award.
Now, if you look,
before me and my brother in the business even received this award.
Right, and if you look in the back of the pickup truck, you see you and your brother.
That's right.
Which I don't have because I did request some videos, but they came in the wrong file format, so I don't have the videos to show. But that's from one of the videos that you and your brother make at the dealership. And one of the reasons that you got that award was because of the creativity and the marketing expertise that your dealership, your folks' dealership, was able to showcase on your TVs around Ohio, and you and your brother are stars on that end of it also. So congratulations to you and to your folks. Now, the only one that we've left out tonight, and we shouldn't leave her out, but is Caroline in the other room also? Your sister?
Caroline! She'll probably interrupt one way or another. She's mischievous, just as Connor is.
Huh? We should.
Yeah.
Well, we should get her on. We've got your brother on.
Nolan, I got a question.
All right, can you give me a second? Okay.
When we were talking before we went on the air, you talked about your writing and how the first grade teacher said, you should write more, and you have the voice of an author. Are most of your interviews today video like we're doing right now, or do you do the video live and then write a story based upon what the video showed? How do you do it?
Well, I usually don't videotape my interviews. I do them in person, and we just get some photos with the interviewee. I go home, write the article, send it to my editor in New York City. So usually the interviews are live. Once in a while, I do have to do a Skype call or a phone interview, but usually they are in person because Scholastic loves to get a photo of the Scholastic reporter with the interviewee.
Okay, yeah, to make it look more legit.
Let's talk about another one of your interviews, because this one was close to my heart. You remember that one?
Oh, Carousel Works. Yes, this was a great interview. Thank you for the idea, by the way.
That's right. I gave you the idea and introduced you to Dan Jones and Richie, and you did a phenomenal job. Tell them about Carousel. Caroline's coming in.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here's my lovely sister.
No, she can't.
Caroline,
Yeah, go the other way.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Caroline.
Yeah, you can't.
You'll have to. Oh yeah, give it a heads. Okay, can you hear me, Caroline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Boom, boom.
We sing your song at the end of the 7th inning at every Boston Red Sox game.
Good times never seem so good.
Everybody now, do people joke with you about that song?
Yeah.
I'd be inclined
Now we know a secret that
to believe they never.
No, DePietro, you are not Kenny Rogers. You're not even
Diamond.
But
Diamond.
I'm going to tell the world a secret about Caroline. It's not really a secret because her mother posted it. Caroline has this unique skill. If anybody out there, and I see Ed Luturco's on, and I'll get to your question in a minute, Ed, but Caroline has this unique skill. If anybody has ever run cross country, it's grueling. Caroline has the ability, and she is known for smiling from the time the race starts throughout the entire, whenever her mother takes a picture of her on the course, she's smiling. In the middle of the race, at the beginning of the race, at the end of the race, that smile never comes off. I think it's glued on. It never comes off her face. Right, Caroline?
Yeah, I mean, even when you're running like that, and it's really painful. Like even I'll admit it, even though I do it all the time.
What grade?
I'm a sophomore. I'm in 10th grade.
Okay, so you're doing 3.1.
Yeah, a 5K.
5Ks. Okay.
Wow.
And you're doing it under 20 minutes?
No, my PR is 22:26.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. That's personal record. Yeah. Yeah. So what's it like having a brother as a celebrity or thinks he's a celebrity?
I don't know what you're asking. I don't want to know what you're asking.
You said, what's it like to have a brother who's a celebrity or thinks he's a celebrity?
It's wonderful. She loves me so much. I'm the best person ever.
You're a celebrity.
I think no, I don't. That's stop trying to make me look bad on my Facebook.
All right, Caroline, thank you.
Now, we still need your mother and father to come in before a little.
Right.
I would come in about 15 minutes.
Towards the end, we'll get your mother and father in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Caroline.
Hey, Caroline, you have to post this on your Facebook page.
I don't have a Facebook.
You don't?
No, but I'll run for you guys.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Caroline.
So Nolan.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Right.
I'm fine.
I want to get into the Carousel Works.
Yeah, go ahead, the Carousel thing.
I did introduce you to them, and what was your impression of the company?
It was insane. So this was actually the first interview I had where I got my first DSLR camera, and thank goodness, because just the woodworking in there was incredible. It was all handmade. They did have some machines, but some of it was handmade. It was just insane. I would show you a few pictures if I had some. Oh, there you go. You have one there.
No,
But
you know what?
The level of talent in that building was incredible. And I absolutely love that.
Do you know what that one is, Nolan? That is actually, that's not at Carousel Works. That's in the foyer of my house. And that was one of the first wooden carousels that wooden horses that Dan Jones and Art Ritchie carved when they started the company in the 1980s in Bristol, Connecticut, before they ever moved it to Ohio. And that, in fact, that horse, this horse has an RV story. When we built the new house, I don't know, 12 years ago, the horse used to be tan and blue because it matched the colors in our old house. So we put the horse into an RV. We laid him on the bed in the RV, strapped him down, and we drove out to Ohio and dropped him off in Ohio. And my wife gave him all the new colors for the new house, and they stripped them down and repainted it, and they delivered it back to our house a couple of months later. But that was from Carousel Works.
Did you have to stop every
That is so
and walk
neat.
the horse around?
Yeah, every couple of hours we had to take him out for a walk.
Walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now, were you there on the day that you were there? Was that just kind of your day? You weren't there on a public day. They set that interview up for you to go in and see how they carve the horses and meet the people, right?
They did. I believe it was during school, so there was no one else there except the owners, but it was an incredible experience.
Ed LaTurco wants to know, who is your mentor or one you look up to?
Me.
Sure, you. Yeah, we're just gonna say those two. But
You don't have to listen to him. No.
Okay, but honestly, I look up to a lot of people in different genres. I believe I mentioned earlier. No, I probably didn't. But one of my other hobbies is video editing, video production. For that, I look up to Steven Spielberg. For writing, I look up to some of my favorite authors.
That's way up there, Nolan.
I know.
That's not the guy doing videos down on the corner. I mean, that's pretty lofty.
I know. I love his work. But for writing, I love so many different authors. J.K. Rowling, Roald Dahl. There's so many different mentors that I have. But one of my main ones is my mom, because even though she doesn't show it, she has a great writing ability. And I think she's also some of the reason why she inspired me to write. She always would kind of, quote unquote, edit my little book. She would say, oh, this is spelled wrong. I was a first grader, so I spelled everything wrong. But she was my first little editor, and she was the biggest inspiration for me. She still is the biggest inspiration for me.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, Nolan, on a generic question, where's the facility that you've been that's had the best press room food?
Oh, the All-Star Game, for sure. They had like this Coke dispenser, and they had a bunch of popcorn and cheese balls, and they were the best, and I loved them. And they were not healthy foods. Everyone else had healthy foods, and I did not like it.
You weren't eating vegetables.
You're going to get on Dawn's wrong side, Nolan. You're not a vegetarian, and you don't eat healthy foods. But that puts you right up there with DePietro and me and her husband, Mark, and Ed LaTurco. And
we're Italian.
Yeah, you're Italian, right?
I mean, Italians are supposed, it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
So where's that picture? Those your parents at a Jayco display? Where are they? At an RV show?
That was at the RV show. Yeah, that was at the RV show.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was me. One day I took off school to go up to the RV Center,
okay.
The RV show.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
That is me, actually. It's hard. It's pretty small, but that is me. As you said earlier, me and my brothers make little videos that we post on YouTube, kind of walkthroughs of trailers, and mostly for Facebook as well. A lot of our views are from Facebook. So I took a day off school to come up there and kind of make a short video at the RV show, mostly for Facebook. So that was a really fun experience.
That's great. Do you work a lot of the RV shows? Do you do anything else at the RV shows, or just go up and do some of the stories?
Sometimes when they're really, really busy, I can tell them the history of the company when they're waiting. So, because I know the history of the company, so that's often my job. But I'm hopefully this year I'm learning a lot about RVs. I can help customers or just viewers if they have an overload of people. So I'm working towards that. Wish me luck.
So give us the compressed version of the history of the company, about who started it and where you fall into the company.
Well,
because this is
my grandpa was a barber, and that was of course going really well for him. But then we came to the 70s where people started having long hair. They weren't getting a haircut every week anymore. So it started to get harder and harder.
I have that problem, Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, so it started to get harder for him. The barber industry was going down, you know? So he decided, he had no experience whatsoever, but he decided, you know, I'm going to start an RV industry because he liked camping, and he had no experience whatsoever, and everyone said, good luck with that, you know?
Some things never change.
But he was so determined. My grandma and him, those are also my biggest inspirations. They worked so hard, and they got the company on its feet, and the rest is history.
And how long ago was that? Or what year?
I believe we were established in 1973, maybe 1972.
Okay,
so 72 or 74.
Almost 50 years.
Something around that.
Almost 50 years.
Almost 50 years, yeah. And my grandpa had a heart attack at 49, I believe. So that's when my dad came into the company as a teenager. He didn't really want to work there, but he had to help, and that's where he learned that he loved it. And that's where my uncle learned that he loved it. So that's how they got it into the company.
And they still speak to each other, your dad and your uncle, right?
Of course they do. They're lifelong best friends. They talk to each other every day.
They have different jobs at the dealership, right? Who does what?
Well, they both co-own the dealership. They both do around the same jobs. My dad does a lot of the looking into new units to buy, and Uncle Bob does a lot of the financing in general. But they both have teamwork that is incredible.
And how many?
And I really admire to be like them with my brother.
How about your sister?
I don't think there's a lot of hope for that. I mean.
She's going to come back to. She's only on the other side of the door.
She's going to be back. Watch.
I'm happy with these doors. We're not compatible. No, I'm kidding. I love my sister. I get along with her fine. I'm joking.
Yeah.
All fun here.
Yeah. So Walter brought up a great.
I'm just teasing her. I want her to get mad after she watches this.
Bob, read Walter's comment.
Walter says, I have listened to people give TED Talks that are nowhere near as articulate as this young man. Great job.
Thank you so much.
And Walter's a high-tech guru. He works for Dell Technologies here in New England. So he's a real high-tech guy. He knows all that.
Wow. I'm working on a Dell laptop right now, so.
Hey, there you go, Walter.
There you go.
Not only is he a good kid, he's a customer.
Yeah.
All right, so Nolan, I don't know if you've ever done a commercial.
Oh yeah. Here you go.
Now is your commercial debut on RVing in New England. You're on.
I'm out of work.
Okay. All right, I got this. Okay. So thank you so much for watching our video, our live stream, and we want to make this the best video we can, so please share this on Facebook. Our job is to connect with as many people as we can, so if you share the video on Facebook, then we will reach as many people as possible. Please.
That's very, very good.
And actually, that is not my first time doing a commercial. Since my brother and I's videos were such a success, my dad decided to put us in the print ads and the video commercials. So those are airing right now. But of course, those were scripted, and that was on the spot. So hopefully, I did okay.
Ad-libbing is much more fun than trying to memorize the script, Nolan.
Yeah.
John is fired. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
So they can do that.
So that can take me off the screen now, then too.
We'll have to take you off and drop you down. Let me drop that and bring this up, and just to show the people that you do in fact work. What are you and your brother doing here?
So we are helping bring in a box to one of our wonderful technicians in one of the bays. We do a lot of this kind of work. We help around in the RV center, and it's really a great experience because you never know. This is the way my dad got started, so this could be the way me and my brother get started.
Why should somebody go to Hartville RV Center?
Well, I think that it's important. Customer satisfaction is very important to us. We understand what it's like to not have, good service. So we have expanded a lot, and we have that big business quality, but still keeping that little business, family feel. So you're getting the newest trailers, the newest, hottest trailers, the old-fashioned way. There will be somebody at the door to greet you every time. It's really about the customer satisfaction at Hartville RV Center, and I think that's something that me and my uncle, my dad, and my grandpa are incredible at.
They're not your brother, though.
No, well, he's working on it. We'll work on it.
Working on him. Okay, and again, yeah. Sister is a lost cause, so we're not going to talk about her.
Well,
what brand? It shows Jayco there. What other brands, Nolan, do you carry at the store?
So we carry Jayco, like you said, KZ. We carry Gulfstream vintage cruisers and a few new Braxton Creek lines, I believe. We're just trying those out. So those are the 4 we carry right now, and we hope to expand in the future.
Pretty good.
Very good.
So have you been to the any big RV shows? The open houses out in Elkhart in September. Have you been to any of those?
I don't think I have. I did. I have, but they weren't recent.
Okay.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Probably like 7, 6.
When you were 7 or 6.
But it's been a while, but hopefully I get to go back again.
Yeah. Well, they get a lot of free food at those.
Yeah.
Do you know what elephant?
I know.
Do you know what elephant ears? You know what elephant ears are?
Elephant ears?
Yeah, that fried dough stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's it called? Funnel cake.
Right.
A little bit like funnel cake.
Right.
Yeah, we call them fried dough here, and
he's been known to eat 3 or 4 of them, Nolan, and then wash them down with a strawberry sundae.
There you go. That's what Italian.
That's how I entertain myself when I'm at the Forest River display at the dealer open house. As soon as we go in there, I have to find the elephant ear trailer. So we do that. Tell me about this picture, Nolan.
Okay, so this is me and my brother at the RV Center, and as you can tell, that is our little print poster right there. If you can't tell, it's pretty small. That's me and Connor. We flew down to New Mexico to film some commercials, take some photos, and that's what they've been put to use for. So that's me and my brother next to our very first kind of like ad debut, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll find a way. One of the things we didn't talk about, but what we always ask our guests to do, if you would, in the next day or two, if you go back through the archived copy, and you'll see all the comments that came in tonight, and take any of those that you want to answer yourself. Feel free to put your own comment on there and answer to the people that have responded. That's something that we like to have our guests do, and they have a lot of fun doing it. Mark Polk says, I can relate to Nolan. I started out washing campers. And
yeah, that's mostly what I do at the RV Center right now, besides help my grandpa, but it's still a great experience, Mr. Polk.
Well, Mark Polk now is probably the leading educator and trainer for consumer training and publication that I talked about. But he does all this stuff, and he does a ton of videos for RV companies to show people how to. Well, he just did one on replacing refrigerators and replacing the flooring in the RV, replacing drapes. Him and Don did one on replacing the drapes in their fifth wheel at the beach. So he does a lot. So you got to check out his stuff at RV Education 101.
And Dawn's got her own new one coming out, replacing beef with cauliflower.
That sounds exciting.
America's newest bestseller.
But actually, to accelerate your training as you learn more about the business, they have online streaming videos that you would probably like very much. That online courses that you can actually have the dealership private label them or distribute them to some of the customers. So he's just a wealth of knowledge in the industry, and we love Don and Mark, and we'd like to have a little bit of fun with them.
We'll have to look into it then. That sounds great.
Yeah. So what are
cameo appearance in their videos?
With all of this,
Maybe?
all of this activity that you have, which is not, let's face it, it is not the typical 13-year-old's daily activity schedule. What things do you like to do when you're not at the RV dealership or you're not writing for Scholastic Kids Press? What other things do you like to do?
Well, I'm a huge technology nerd and an art nerd, so I like digital drawing a lot with my little drawing pad. I also like, I think I said this earlier, video editing, video production. Sometimes I'll just, take some kind of video of me swinging around some plastic stick, and I'll edit it to look like it's a lightsaber. Something like that, just having a little bit of fun. And I love reading.
Like yeah.
I love reading. And tennis. Tennis is also a big part of my hobby. I love playing tennis.
Interesting. Now, so maybe, and see, again, we don't script this stuff. We things come into our head. But maybe,
no papers here.
Maybe you could collaborate with Mark on a kids RV video of sorts that would, I don't want to take business away from your father. I don't want to get on his bad side. But maybe there is something that you could do introducing kids to the RV industry and the RV lifestyle from a kid's perspective. Because I think one of the things that the students like when they read your stories is they're the same age as you. So they're listening to somebody that's age appropriate. They're not listening to us old guys tell them what to do. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
But maybe there's an opportunity there for you to do some introductory videos in conjunction with Mark and Don that would introduce kids into it.
Talk about why kids love camping, and especially for kids that aren't into camping yet, why they should tell their parents to go buy an RV because of all the fun that you've had, such as those special s'mores that you described earlier. Or, and somebody asked a question, do you guys go to the same campground all the time, or do you travel around? I think Two Feathers answered that. What do you think of that? How do you answer?
Well, well, I'm not tall enough. Okay. There.
You know what she's saying? Nolan, you know what she's saying? She likes the idea of you doing the video.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. The web series we do is actually called Kids Love Camping too, so we'll have to look into that, Mr. Polk.
Right.
So about the campgrounds.
Warn you that don't let Dawn try to talk you into vegetarianism, though.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. No one can separate me and my chicken nuggets.
Don't let her slip that into the contract, Nolan.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You always be from Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Not Veggies or Us.
All right. So about the campgrounds, we like to have a variety of campgrounds, try out different places. So I don't think I've ever been to the same campground twice.
What do you look for in a campground, Nolan? If your parents said to you, Nolan, you pick the campground, what would be the criteria that you would want to have mandatory before you let your parents drive in and pay for it?
Well, I think first of all, it needs to be fun, enjoyable. Even though RVs are great, I don't want to sit in my RV all day. I want to go out and have a fun camping experience. So there has to be some fun activities there. And I also think the people have to be nice. I always love campground, kind of like counselors around. I always like talking to the different people from different areas. So I think there has to be a lot of a variety of people there. So those are probably my two main factors: people and
how about internet?
Fun.
How about internet?
Oh, internet. That's not a big thing for me. Even though I'm a huge tech nerd, I can take a day or two away from the internet. I'm not saying it would be easy. I'm just saying, it'd be good for me.
Yeah, but you're not tied to it. So you get out, like you say.
I'm not addicted to the internet. I'm not addicted to the internet, but I think it would be fun to take a few days away from it. So internet's not a huge deal in my mind.
How about a pool?
Yeah, there has to have a pool. There has to be a pool.
Slides in the pool.
I forgot to.
Water park.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, you got Cedar.
Yes,
you got
all of
Cedar
that.
Point, so you don't really.
We got 5 minutes left. On this,
Only 5 minutes. I went so fast.
Well, I told you we'd get to the end of the hour, and you're going to watch.
You told me.
You got to get to bed. Huh? Actually, Bob and I will be to bed before you.
Oh, I'm gonna share.
So this is your page on the Scholastic Kids Press. And,
yes, it is. That's me.
Your quote that I highlighted in yellow says, "I enjoy being an author because authors can let their imaginations run wild." That's your tagline, buddy.
That's my little quote. It seems a little bit generic, whatnot, but I honestly think that even though you're writing nonfiction, I don't think that limits you. I think even though you're writing about something true, you can put your own twist on it. So I think even nonfiction authors can let their imaginations run wild.
Okay.
And a lot of people have asked me, like, nonfiction, that doesn't apply, and I think it does.
Right. So let your imagination run wild. If you were to write the headline for this show that you're going to promote on Facebook and on Scholastic Kids Press, how would you describe this show that you've just been on?
My best experience yet. 4 words.
4 words.
Sure.
All right.
Words. I have to count.
Couple of things.
Things,
and I know your mom and dad are out there. So, mom and dad, we're gonna queue you up. We didn't plan that either, but we've had the other family, so we want them to come in a couple of minutes here. But one thing we want to talk about, and we did talk about the other day, Nolan, was for other young adults who are watching this tonight and saying, "Hey, this kid's pretty cool. I'd like to do something like that." They can apply at Scholastic Kids Press. Now, I did check the site today, and they cannot apply until March for the next year, right?
March, yes. So we need reporters every new school year. So that would be not school year, the beginning of March. And it's really important for me. I've learned Ohio is such an incredible state, even though it's pretty small. So
there you go.
So I think that it's important that when I'm not a reporter anymore, we still need to have a reporter from Ohio. So I really want, even if you think there's no way, I thought there was no way, I applied and I have this badge on right now. So I encourage you and your kids to apply if they have a nose for the news.
All right, I will post the link for that in the comments section later on, so that people.
Okay.
You don't wear that badge to sleep and stuff, and take showers and stuff with it, right? I mean, you do take it off at night.
No.
You don't.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm pretty attached to it though. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a nice
All right, we're running up. Think we can get your mom and dad on for a couple of minutes?
Yeah. Give me a second. Mom, Dad, come in here. They are coming.
They are coming.
That way we page.
Loud voice. All right, give them a second. They're coming from downstairs.
Oh, they're coming. Oh, downstairs. Oh, okay.
Or upstairs. Sorry.
They're
coming from upstairs.
There's the Ottawa Jazz Festival. There's the Kenny Rogers last tour, all access badge. There's the Kenny Rogers 2015 Kenny Rogers Christmas show.
Here's the man.
It's Rucker.
The man, the myth, the legend. He can't hear us. Maybe if you turn the headset. Okay. Hey, the man, the myth, the legend. What do you think of this kid that you got there, Jeff?
Oh, we are so proud of him, and we are having a lot of fun with him.
Here comes Mama.
Oh, and his mom. Hi, Mary.
Had to do her hair. Mama had to fix her hair up, right, Jeff?
I have to admit, we were in the other room watching this, got a little nervous when you said Mom and Dad need to come in.
Yeah.
So
Jeff did his hair already, though.
Yeah, I'm like Bob. I had mine all ready to go.
Yeah, we
Ready to go.
we don't have to worry about that stuff anymore, right?
That's right.
So let's let Mary get the headsets for a minute, Jeff. Just get her comment.
My back to Mary.
They want you to be over here.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Mama.
Mary. Thank you very much for working with us and setting this up. This has been a delightful hour, and
Oh, it's our pleasure.
we thoroughly enjoyed it, and we're going to enjoy watching Nolan continue in his career with his writing and everything else that comes about in life. And he's going to be a very successful person. And you guys have a wonderful family, and we really appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you for the kind words. We're very proud of Nolan, and we appreciate everybody's support. I know through social media, we've been able to reach out to a lot of people, and they've been able to enjoy his Scholastic Kids Press experience. I posted stories and some pictures, and it's been kind of fun for everybody to follow along. And he loves seeing all the support everybody throws out there.
So, Mary, when Nolan's too old to do this and gets fired at 15, are you going to file an age discrimination lawsuit on his behalf?
I have a feeling he'll roll into another role for older kids, something. I don't know. But I definitely encourage all kids around the country and even internationally. There's an international program for Scholastic Kids Press. It's been a fantastic experience.
So you'll be happy to hear a couple of the comments that I don't know if you can see them up on the screen there. Mark Polk writes, I thoroughly enjoyed listening to Nolan, a smart young man with a wonderful future ahead of him. And then Lisa writes, amazing young man. Great job, Nolan. Maybe start up a dedicated kids press for every state. And Dawn the Vegetarian writes, thank you for having Nolan on your show. He has a very bright future. In fact, you might get a phone call from the Polks, P-O-L-K, like Polk Salad Annie, inviting Nolan to be on a couple of their videos.
Yeah, we gave him you were watching, so we gave him a couple ideas. Well,
they're
look
the best in the country. RV Education 101.
Yeah.
Yeah, very familiar. Yeah.
It is past that bedtime. We try to end it right around 8 o'clock. No, hang on there, Mary. We try to end it right around 8 because people are generous enough to give us 1 hour of their time, and we don't extend it. But we want to have Nolan back on again in the future. And for you guys, I'll see you next week in Las Vegas at the RVBA convention.
Definitely. Yep. We'll look forward to seeing you.
So Nolan gets the whole house to himself.
Nolan
someone has to stay back and go to school.
Nolan gets the last word, Mary. So if you give him that headset, it's the last word.
Yeah.
We always let our guests end it and say whatever you'd like, Nolan, but we thoroughly enjoyed having you here tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who was watching, and remember to keep camping.
All right. John, any closing words?
No, great show.
Great show, guys. All right, Nolan, we'll see you down the road. Take care.
All right, see ya. Bye.